Alright, so you got your epics here. What I did was I went and bought 2 first stages because whatever you use and break down, it has to be of the same age. So if I broke down a second age, I couldn't use what I broke down in a first stage. Now, I'm going to be working on these two. And what I got is this one. I got XP tomes to show how they'll evolve. I got a Crystal of Remembrance. I got Scroll of Delving. I got Starlit Crystals. I got Scrolls of Empowerment. And then I got my relics. And we'll work through these as we go down the process. Now, each one of your epics are legendary weapons. If you see at the top here, the more expensive ones you're going to find out are the ones with the better stats. So this one I'm looking at on the far left, it has 1100 more morale, 337 in combat power regen, etc. And generally it's a random factor. So whatever someone makes you and crafts you, when you go to this Forge Master and you unbind it, the stats you get will be random. And so you could get some really garbage stats, or you can get some amazing stats, and those are generally what you want to hold on to. And you have 3 trait trees, and generally you want 3 class items and 3 weapons to associate with whatever trait tree you're doing. So I have a DPS book, I have a crowd control book, I have a tank blue tree book. And I'll use it depending upon the situation, what trait tree I'm in. And so, back to the weapons. You got your 2 epics here. And what I'm going to do is I want to keep my one with Will, because I want to use that a little bit more. And so I'm going to feed 2 of these, if it works. Alright, I'm pretty sure we're back in business again. Okay, I'm going to feed these XP tomes into the weapon that I want to break down to show you guys what I'm ultimately doing. So I'm going to use these. Now at the top here, if you got more than one of these, you can actually, instead of just clicking it one by one, you can go over here and you can slide it. And so it'll stack. Now I'm going to go to here and apply it so it levels up. It just leveled up to, let's look, level 10. And so whenever it levels, you're going to have to come back here, you're going to have to reforge it. When you reforge an item, you're going to be able to select the legacy that you want to add to that weapon. So between here I got an AE and I got 2 different AEs. I do 2 different things. And depending on what trait tree I'm doing on that weapon, I will determine which one would work better. So if I wanted to do, let's look at this, if I wanted to do cracked earth, that would be more crowd control, so that would be my yellow tree. But if I wanted to do gust of wind, that would be associated with my red tree. So you got to really think about how these legacies will implement to what trait tree you're going to try to use. And I'm just going to pick one at random here. Let's just do gust of wind. Alright, level, yippee. And so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go to my legendary items and I'm going to, let's find out where this is at. That's not the one. Okay, so now I have available points. And I'm just going to feed it into something random here. Let's just...
How can I be of service?
Let's just feed it into, God, I don't know, critical damage. Why not? Almost maxed it. We'll just throw that in there. Alright, now I have a weapon that has, these are called legacies, and this is what contributes to your trait tree. Let's break this thing down. And so I'm going to go to my Relic Master,
Greetings,
and
friend.
I'm going to deconstruct this thing. Always make sure you're doing the right one. That can suck. Okay. And so since I have some points into it, when I deconstruct it, it's going to come out with some relics, and that's right here. And then any XP I put into it, evolving it, it's going to feed back some XP back to me for breaking it down. So I'm not at a total loss. I mean, this is 10,000. I fed 80,000 to it, but I still get something back. All right. So now that we've done that, let's work on our main one. All right. So I'm going to feed these into my main one. I'm just going to stack this up here.
Hello there.
I'm going to want to reforge this, and I'm going to make this my yellow tree because I already have a red tree one. So since I've done this multiple times, I can reforge this multiple times. Yellow tree, yellow tree. Okay, let's look what I got. I got a level 33 of 60 on this epic weapon. Well, what's happening here is it goes up to 60, alright? You're going to want to get this Infalis Scroll of Delving. And what this does is it adds 10 levels onto your legendary weapon. So ultimately you can get it up to level 70 and feed more stats into your epic weapon. And so now that I've applied it, I have 33 of 70. So I have 10 more levels to work with. I have more XP I can put into it, right? And now we're going to look at Infalis Starlit Crystals. Now let's go back to the legendary items. Let's look at where this is at. Alright, so here's our item. Now look at these upgrades right here. Your crystals are going to strengthen your weapon. And so you can get a max of 3. And so I'm going to feed these into this one right here. Yeah, it's going to reset the points every time, but you're not losing anything. So now mine's fully strengthened. We are good to go. Alright, so this is the time you're going to want to imbue it. But I wouldn't say right now. I would say once you have decided that that's the legacies that you want to use on your weapon. Because when you imbue it, it's done. It's said for. There is nothing more that you can do. And so I'm going to imbue this. I'm going to see, what do I want to do? Let's just go for cracked earth. Let's max that out, and let's do Stormlore. It's 2 good ones, I think. So now let's go to imbuing it.
Greetings, friend.
Alright. So when I imbue this, it is permanent. I can't break it down. I can't do anything with it after that. Alright, it is officially imbued. So let's go back to this. Now here's your levels. This is why I don't like to feed a lot of XP into it. I mean, yeah, it's level 17 right now because that's where I stopped off at. But if you see right here, it's level 1 out of 45. All those XP tomes that I used, I could have fed it into here. If I would have knew that those are the legacies I wanted, those would be a higher level right now because I used it post imbuement. But because I used it pre-imbuement, the XP didn't come over with it besides the level. And so that sucks, but it's a thing. And so what can we do next? And so how we level these, besides going out and XPing, is we can use these scrolled empowerments. So I'm going to use this scroll. I'm going to target the one I want to use. And so if you see right here, here's the levels. We got 45, we're Stormlord. I can't, 45, tactical direct damage, 44. And so every time I use one of these, it will level it up. So let's go with Stormlord, because that, Stormlord. Used it, now it's level 46, meaning that when I start XPing and leveling my weapon, I can get it up to level 46. And so if I use it again, you can keep using these to really strengthen your weapon. And so I'm going to go back to Stormlord. Now let's look at these Anthelis Crystals of Remembrance. These are a little bit rare, more expensive in the market, but they're nice items. So down here, I have another legacy that I could have gotten, or I can get. And if you go here, it's 99 coins, and that sucks. So you can use one of these, and when I click it, I can select my weapon. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding another legacy to this, and it's going to give me a list that's relevant to my class that can be used on this weapon. And since I'm focused on my yellow tree on this weapon, I'm going to want to use a skill that's relevant to that. Test of Will is a crowd control, so I'm going to add a Test of Will to that. And so now, when I look at it, now I Test of Will. And so if you see on the left here, I have a lot more legacies. It's really expanding. It's looking nice. So we're going to go to our Relic Master here. And you see I got these copper relics, bronze relics. There's different levels of relics. And I'm going to deconstruct these. Every time I deconstruct these, it's going to feed me some relics back. And so this was your basic minimal level. So these are just going to get me level 1s. And I'm just going to keep right clicking these and just stacking up these relics. So yeah, it can get pretty extensive. And it helps to do this if you get like Moria coins or other instance coins and you don't need any of the items from there. You can go back and get relics from those traders. And I bought these from the AH, and it's going to, see it says morale, it's literally just going to give me morale relics back. And I'm going to save that one for now. And so what you can do is you can go to refine, but I wouldn't use refine unless you really, what refining is doing is if you go into your melding page and look at these, here's the relics that you're going to start making, right? So to make this Brittle Riddlemar, this is a bad one to look at, but Brittle Riddlemar Gem of Acumen, I need a red agate Gem of Endurance, tier 9. I need a Dexterity, tier 9, and I need Fortune, tier 9. But on top of needing all 3 of these relics, I also need 7,488 shards, and that's where the shards are going to put out. And so if you're all maxed out on your relics and your weapons are looking nice, that is the only time that I would refine them, because otherwise you're just ultimately losing it. And so if we go to our relic forging here, you have a drop down, and so you have different tiers right here. And if you remember back in my melding page, I can go through each of these ones and I can start breaking them down. So if I wanted to make this, I'd need 2 shards, and it would work out. So you can do it by choice, but what I like to do is, that would take a long time. So if I went here, I can do a max of 5. I can combine these. I got a copper setting of might. But if I would have went like that, then I got all this, right? Okay. Well, tier 1 I don't have to worry that much about. So all I do is I go down to here and I go to auto combine 50. And I'll keep that on for you. So it combined 50, or what did it say, 250 of those. And so this is everything that it fed out. 11 of these, 17 of those. It stacks up. And so what's happening is as you're doing this, it's going to have an umbrella effect kind of thing. So it's going to mean less and less. So now that I did these, I'm going to get less from them because it required a lot of tier 1s to make the tier 2s, and it's going to do a lot of tier 2s to make tier 3s, and the number goes down until you have limited tier 9s at the end of the day, I guess you could say. So combine these. I really just want to get away from the lower tiers because I have no use in it. I mean, it's great in your 50s, 60s, but 100 plus I wouldn't. I just do what I'm doing now and feed them into this machine, I guess you could say. So now I'm getting up there. Every time I do it, I'm getting shards down here, so it's helping me, so I don't really have to refine, so to say. So see, I'm getting less and less, but they're becoming more powerful as I'm doing this, as I'm going through the tiers. And so let's look at this. From all those, these are all the tier 6s that I got. I'm doing all those. Those are all the tier 7s I got. So kind of, I'm going to stop at tier 9 so I can actually show you guys how you put them into your slots. And if we go back to these melding page before we get into that, if you remember what I was showing you, there's all the shards, and so I can get all these tiers with those shards. But if you look down here, it's not as big, but I still need one tier 10 relic, and I also need 768 shards. Now let's look at my legendary items. Alright, and so we got a tier 10. So you have 4 different slots. You have your settings, you have your gems, you have your runes, you have your crafted, and each one is going to do something separate. Alright, might. I have absolutely no use for might. So what do I want? Do I have a tier 10? I do have a tier 10 relic. So I want, it usually goes in order. So if you see settings. If you see gem, look for these keywords, gems. If you see runes. So you can kind of already categorize it. And so I want will, because I'm more focused on a will. Okay, so I need one tier 10 relic. I got that. I need 768 shards. Okay, well I got that. So let us make it. So I want to keep that. I don't even want to keep that, but let's do it. So now I have a settings of will. I'm gonna put that in there. All right, let's do the same thing with gems. Dexterity. That's terrible. I don't want agility. I just don't want it. Fate. That's okay. I'll probably vitality. I want some vitality. I got a 10 tier relic. Yeah, I got 768 shards. I do. And so let's feed this into here. Let's get me my endurance. Okay, now I got vitality. Alright, relics. Avoidance. Let me look. Pretty sure that's what I'm going to be wanting. Incoming healing, block rating. I'm not blocking. Evading. I'll go with it. Okay, so I'm going with this. Awesome. Alright, now let's look at this. This is looking pretty nice, I bet. Okay, so I have a long list of legacies. I have these stats down here. Tier 10, all tier 10 from breaking down tier 1s and just going through the list. Alright, awesome. Okay, so now what is this crafted about? Well, crafted is exactly how it sounds. It is crafted by other people. Now that is fine for lower levels. Yeah, I would say that you should get a crafted one from lower levels. That's cool. Okay, I got 50 will. But I'm not a lower level now, am I? So this is the shitty part. This is when trade skills are going to become your
Greetings.
necessary. And so there's one big hub for where you're going to go. And once you've done your trade skill, and I'm going to head over there now. Alright, now I am in Estelden. This is kind of your hub for your major crafting skills. I'm going to go to my Tailor's Guild. Alright, now that I'm in my Tailor's Guild. Now, with crafting, not only do you have to max your skill, but you also have to max your reputation to get the good items and get good relics, and the ability to make them. Now, you can't just make all these faction items in one day and get max faction. That's not how it works. If you're doing these faction items, if I look here, I look at my Tailor's Guild, this one right here alone has... Let's see, it has about 2 days, 18 hours. So every 2 days, I can make this. And that's only 1,800 points. And it's going to look the same down the line. And you only get a couple with each one. I think what I read is with reputation enhancers, you can get it done as soon as 17 days. So like this game, the sooner you start, the better off it is for you. Because everything is, it's a timetable, you're just waiting. Okay, now I've had I have relics stacked up. I have the currency needed from those. Because what you do ultimately is once you've done all that, you get your crafted relics. And now you can start making these relics that are the currency you need to get the relics. Now I'm just going to show you. Let's see, pretty sure it's this guy. This girl. Okay, so I have 7 of these. Now if I look over here, here's my tradable relics. Okay, that's cool. But if you look at these keywords right here, it says bind on acquire. That means I cannot trade it. Once I make it, it is mine. And so that is why I'm saying that trade skills are ultimately going to be a must at end games, is for this purpose, and the faction too. So if you haven't started it, I would. So I'm going to go down here. Let's see, what is my highest one? You can also get one for your mounts. Your mounts only take 1 though. Level 95 item. Need to get that. Let's see, 30 fate, 320 critical defense, 30 fate, 30 will. Do I have anything else that I can use? Because I don't want to waste anything here. No, these are all brittles. Yeah. So this, I'm going to come back and do this because I want this. But if you look right here, let's look. That one is 40 will, 750, 740 critical rating, and tactical mastery. So I'm going to want this, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to go with what I have already fed in. So let me see, 30 will. Let's grab this one. All right. Now we're going to head back to Bree to deconstruct this relic. Alright, back in Bree. Let's go to my relic master here.
Hello there.
I'm going to deconstruct this one. Alright, I got it. Now, remember these relic removables. I don't even think I said it, but I'm gonna go to my weapon. Okay. Well, shit. I already have a relic in there. Now, I could go and I could take this and I could destroy it. Cool. But I'll never have that again. But if I have one of these relic removal scrolls, I can go into here, go to my weapon. So now I'm unslotting all these. So I've saved everything. And so I'm going to reslot these. And now I can put in the relic that I want. And that is everything. Now if we go and look at my weapon now, I say it's looking pretty nice. I have to level it because those legacies, they're on the left side in the middle. That's affecting the trait tree that I decided for it. I see a couple that I'm going to have to remove, and you can remove legacies and switch them out. But it's pretty close to what I want for my yellow trait tree. Yeah. But that's it. That is the fun of LOTRO's epics.